What if I told you that the spotlight can be such a bright thing, but such a dark place at the same time? ESPN Films presents 30 for 30, the little engine that couldn't.
He had so much potential.
I thought he was going to be the greatest of all time.
Dylan had all the talent in the world, but also the biggest ego.
I mean, he thought he could just come out every night without ever going to practice.
It's really kind of sad. All that potential and talent wasted. With what, the various allegations and charges against him for DUI, gambling, drug possession? He could have really been something.
I remember one year, he came to practice in the fall 30 pounds overweight, and I had to whip him into shape. Hoped I could get him on the right path. I did the best I could.
You know when someone can handle the spotlight by how they react to stardom. Dylan wasn't one of those people.
I thought I was the best, plain and simple. Nothing could stop me.
I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti.
I grew up here in Unionville, PA. Had a pretty normal life. Mom, dad, brother. Fell in love with the game at a young age. Couldn't pull me off the court. From high school to college to pros, I was a hard worker with a passion for the game. All these dollar signs flashing before my eyes really got to me. Felt like I had so much power. And I could do anything. Start partying, getting into drugs, some bad things, bad people. And it was a runaway train just running off the tracks. Everything moved so fast. It was a charming young man. I mean, look at him. Popular guy. And my ego just grew and grew and grew. And at the pro level, everyone began telling me I needed to shape up. It always comes so easy to me. It was a new thing. It was different. You can't change who I really am. And that's when I fell apart.
We found a clip of Heim's mother speaking after one of his allegations.
He was always a good kid growing up, but liked to have too much fun, and he didn't know when it was time to be serious, but I was very proud of him nonetheless.
He played his way up through the system in high school, and he was a varsity starter and scoring champion in the state by his sophomore year. Dylan became a highly touted prospect by colleges around the country. Scholarships were being thrown at him left and right, which is where he started to become too big. In his junior year, he verbally committed to UCLA.
Dylan was #1 prospect in the country, and we are ecstatic to have him commit to us. In hindsight, it's probably good he decided to go to LSU. His ego and cockiness wouldn't have really fit into our system, despite the 2 national championships he won.
Dylan finally officially committed to LSU, where he would play at a level no one had ever seen before in the college game.
I was halfway across country, away from my parents. I was able to do whatever I wanted. Started drinking. A lot. Pure talent and athleticism can only get you so far. Along with my teammates, they were the only things that got me through college. When you're under so much scrutiny, like I was, like people follow me every move, every little thing I did was wrong.
Dylan was always out there partying, and with all the stardom and fame and recognition he was getting, I think anybody probably would have been. He was a superstar and he had it all. It's just sad how he lost it all.
After completing his sophomore year at LSU, Dylan declared for the draft and was drafted first overall by the Philadelphia 76ers. He was going back to his home state to play for his hometown team. 3 weeks prior to the start of the season, Heim was arrested for DUI and trafficking of 5 ounces of marijuana.
I pulled him over on I-95 going over 130 miles per hour. That's double the speed limit. I pulled him over and was disappointed to see who exactly it was in the driver's seat. This was the second time I had pulled over a superstar for a DUI, the first being Allen Iverson. The league paid his bail and the charges were dropped, but not after the 76ers suspended him for the first 3 days of the season.
It was a dark point in my life. All that money come out with my mother dying. Along with some bad decisions. And getting suspended before I even played a pro game.
Although Heim continued to struggle off the court, he was tearing it up on the court. Heim averaged 32.4 points per game, 11.7 assists per game, along with 5 steals per game, all league highs. He was the unanimous MVP and Rookie of the Year choice a month into the season.
I was the best player in the league. As a rookie, everyone around the country knew my name. They were calling me the best of all time a month into the season. I didn't know what it was, but I could not handle all the stardom and spotlight. It became too much for me, and then I cracked again.
I first met Dylan at the Atlantic City casinos. I didn't know too much about him when I first met him, but he seemed like a nice guy, but he had a lot of money. I soon realized how dangerous that could be, if not used responsibly. I don't think Dylan ever realized he was wasting away all of his money gambling, and he never admitted that he had a gambling problem. I really think this is where Dylan's life took a turn for the worst and spiraled out of control.
Tragedy inside the Trump Taj Mahal Casino in Atlantic City today.
I mean, come on, man. You got all this money and you go gambling on games you're playing in. It certainly showed his confidence in his abilities, but I don't think you should be wasting your money like that.
Heim's production on the court dropped slightly, and he started getting into fights with teammates. The 76ers dropped from first place in the Eastern Conference to 6th, with Heim averaging only 18 points per game in that 2-month span.
I really wanted him to be good and was rooting for him, but you can only help someone so much. Eventually, they have to help themselves.
I got caught up with some shady people. I saw an opportunity to make even more money. I got selfish, greedy, ended up hurting myself and everyone around me.
The 76ers finished the season in 5th place, but made a run in the playoffs and lost the conference championship, all without antics from Heim.
I mean, even with the series loss, we had optimism for the future. We thought we had him under control, and with a good star like him and surrounding players, we thought we could make a run in the future.
2 seasons went by without antics or issues from Heim, winning NBA titles in both and an MVP in the second.
Everything was going great. I was winning. I was clean. I made my first MVP, as well as playing a good team game. We had great chemistry.
Jeepers, I was just glad to see he was doing alright after what he went through in his rookie year.
Heim was arrested in the offseason for possession of a concealed weapon and involvement in a shooting. He was released by the 76ers and hit the free agent market that summer.
An update to breaking news we first brought you at 6 o'clock. One man is dead and another injured after shots were exchanged.
31-year-old male victim was shot in this driveway Tuesday afternoon. It's not his home, but it's where he and 2 other people exchanged gunfire.
We couldn't have a guy like that on our team anymore. He was asking for more and more money, and we couldn't afford him and the trouble that came with him, especially after remembering the disaster rookie season, despite the multiple championships he brought us.
Heim was convicted of murder in August. He would be serving up to 10 years in jail pending good behavior.
I messed up. I felt like my life was over. Got mixed up with some bad people again. I made a mistake that was unforgivable.
He really threw it all away. Nobody knows why it was necessary to kill him. Why it's ever necessary to kill anyone.
He threw away all that potential, and I thought he could have been the best to ever play the game.
Dylan was like a stepbrother to me. You know, like you're supposed to love him, but you're not related to him and you hate him. And I mean, I did love him for like a day, maybe even a week, but out there on the field, his stuff just happens on the court. You know, I mean, he was doing so well, and I can't even describe how disappointed I was in him, but the fact still remains. He killed someone. The dude killed someone. He took someone's life. That's manslaughter. I watched CSI. I know my stuff. Law and Order. Criminal Minds is the best, though. They're all the same. Criminal Minds is the best. And he's the criminal. I'm the mind.
I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up in a new Bugatti. I woke up